me, Brandy, and welcome back to Astro-Tarot Research. So today we have a spooky reading for you guys, right on time for Halloween. Today's reading is, what do your ancestors have to say to you? Do they want to give you some advice? Do they want to give you some warnings? Do they just want to give you some compliments, maybe? I'm super excited to do this reading because it is Halloween time-ish, you know what I mean? It's going to be a few days before Halloween, and I wanted to get into the theme, especially as a tarot reader. I can't go by and just ignore this month like it never happened. But before we get started, I do want to remind you to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell. You are also free to follow me on Instagram at astro_tarot research. Now let us jump into these piles. We have pile number 1, the purple pumpkin, pile number 2, the green spider, pile number 3, another purple pumpkin. It's really, really purple. Pile number 4, a orange spider, and pile number 5, the most beautiful purple pumpkin of them all. Yes, she's been invited to the ball. I don't know what's going on with me today. I'm just being silly. So let's not waste any more time and get started on these readings. So just sit back, relax, and choose. Hey, if you've chosen pile number 1, let's not waste any more time and get started on your reading. Okay, we have Temperance, the 5 of Swords, the Queen of Coins, the Sun card, Strength, and Mars Force. Okay, let's take in these cards. Very interesting. So it looks like from this reading, what I gather is it's a little bit advice and just a little bit of advice. It's not really much of a warning here. It's just more like saying you need to take the time to bring more balance into your life, because we have Mars Force here, which lets me know that you've been really putting in, you know, a lot of efforts into some particular area of your life, and that may be just a little bit unbalanced. And I only say that because we have this 5 of Swords here, and sometimes when I get the 5 of Swords, it's like when someone's putting in a lot of effort and they're being like underappreciated. So that could be the case for you, especially when we have it sort of near this Queen of Pentacles energy, not near, it's right next to it, which would be like the Queen of Pentacles almost reversed in a sense, where she's trying to take care of herself and live up to her full potential, but she's neglecting her own needs, probably because she has so much going on, which happens, right? When you have a lot of work and responsibilities, you tend to sort of neglect the self-care. At least a lot of people I know do that. I think that's pretty much human nature. So your ancestors are saying, hey, keep some balance. It's going to be okay. With, I don't know if you're rushing towards some sort of goal, if you just feel really passionate about something and you really want to get something done. But with the Strength card here, it's like, be patient. Like, you have time. Like, there's no need to rush. I mean, this is a very, very clear reading. They also want to let you know there are some really beautiful things for you coming on the horizon, especially when we have the Sun card here. Suns always generally represent new beginnings, if not, you know, exciting times or periods of change. And it's funny because the Sun card is connected to ancestry and sort of lineage in that sense. So the ancestors are really letting you know that, hey, we are really present here and we are that sort of guiding force. It's also a representation of there are like good times yet to come. And I want to emphasize that this does seem to be more career oriented, or even, I don't know if you're in the entertainment industry or if you have industry that deals with like taking risks, gambling, stocks, anything. It could be like history, education. If you're in school, then this would also apply to you as well, because I mean, that is the whole point of being in school, is to have a career, right? So what they're trying to say involving like these areas is you're going to get some new opportunities within them with this Mars Force coming here. These are opportunities that you have been, you know, pushing towards and striving towards and doing yourself, because Mars rules efforts. So this isn't just like random happenstance. This is a result of your hard work and efforts. So you're going to get some recognition for that, recognition for your work, or just opportunities in whatever career related field you happen to be interested in. And if it's school, then it's like saying you may get some sort of recognition with school, whether that's making like the dean's list or something like that. If you're outside of school, then this would be more so either a promotion, more job opportunities. Just maybe if you own your own business, you make some sales, or you create some sort of new stream of revenue, which people really like, or it's really popular or something like that. But whatever it is, it's saying you're going to have some success coming up for you on the horizon. And I wouldn't think it's too far away, especially with this temperance and card coming, and it's not super far. Obviously we have be patient with strength, so, but it's not saying like this is going to be 5 years away. Okay, so they're saying there's just going to be some goodness coming your way, and especially when we get Sun and Mars together. It's like saying I've seen people with this placement just through astrology, and usually what it does is it makes them leaders. It makes them people who will rise to authority positions. So what your ancestors are saying, there's a good chance you're going to rise to a place of authority within either your work, or like, let's say you're out of work, then it would be like you would gain a job which would be respectable. But because Mars is here, it's still indicative of working under someone, or it's indicating of being like of service to someone. Okay, so if you had your own business, this would be like, okay, well, I'm of service to my clientele. Okay, but it's not saying that you're just like I don't know, what's a job where you sort of are a little bit more, I guess you aren't of like service if you work in like a, gosh, I just, now I can only think of service jobs. I don't know what happened, but non-service jobs would be something that's not indicated by this. Okay, I don't know why I could only just think of service jobs at that point, because now I'm thinking of like IT, and I'm like, that's kind of be of service. I guess you could think of somebody who like creates something in a factory. That's not technically a service job. Okay, so something like that wouldn't be indicative of rising to authority with that. Okay, so lastly, I want to mention that they're saying that you are generally just a really well-rounded person. Okay, they see your strength, they see your efforts, and they believe that you can go the difference, because we have this Queen of Pentacles energy, which lets me know that you are somebody who has a strong respect for yourself, even though there are times, especially like right now, they may be saying you may be feeling a little bit more insecure. They're saying, hey, don't worry about that stuff. Like, don't worry about the past, because when the Queen of Pentacles is feeling a little bit insecure, she's doubting herself. She's saying, oh gosh, what if I make some mistakes? What if I mess up like I've done in the past? What if this happens? What if that happens? What? Okay, just a million different scenarios, and it's like, okay, what if I run into some conflict like I've done here before in the past? Your ancestors are basically saying, don't worry about that. Okay, like things are going to work out for the best. Like, you have it all. Everything you need, you have within you already. Okay, like you don't need to feel insecure. You don't need to doubt yourself. You need to have this Mars Sun energy, which is high confidence. That's the second thing I wanted to say. When I've seen people with this in their chart, they have a high sense of confidence, which is why they rise to positions of authority. So have confidence within yourself and you will do great, pile number one. And that is what I have for you. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. If it doesn't resonate, feel free to choose a different pile. And thank you for watching. Hey, pile number two, if you've chosen one of the spiders, let's not waste any more time and get started on your reading. We have the 10 of Wands. We have the Empress. We have, which card is this? Sorry, this deck is super new to me. 10 plus, that's 12. Okay, so that's the Hangman. We have We have the Eight of Wands. We have the Six of Pentacles, and we have water element sensing. Very interesting with water element sensing. It's kind of true though. Okay, so wow, it's sort of similar to pile number one, except for they don't have this overwhelming sense of responsibilities. You are, however, do. Like, you're doing too much. Pile number two. I don't know if anyone's told you this, but you are doing the most, okay? You're taking on the most efforts. You are putting in the most work. You are taking on a load of just stuff you don't need to be taking on, and it's stressing you out. Like, okay, so what the cards are saying, what your ancestors are saying is that you need to lighten your load. Okay, we need to go from the 10 of Wands to the 8 of Wands. And so the one thing that the 8 of Wands does is they kind of send their wands all over the place. They're just like, you get a wand, you get a wand, and you get a wand, right? So what it's saying is you need to dull out these responsibilities to other people, because you're taking on too much right now. And if you can't dull out these responsibilities to other people, then you need to drop them, because it's getting in the way and it's not allowing you to complete your work. You need to be able to complete what you need to complete without being so worn out. With the Empress here, my goodness, you are just a wonderful, creative person. Maybe that's what it's saying too. For some of you, this may be saying you are bursting with energy and you need to focus and concentrate on honing that creativity. Because sometimes when you get this overwhelming sense of creative burst or energy, or just like, I don't even know, that feeling that in order to create that passion. I mean, creative people, you guys will know what I'm talking about. Sometimes when you get that coming in, then you will have, you may lose a sense of direction. Okay, you may feel like, I want to do this thing, I want to do that thing, I want to do this thing. I want to just go all over the place and, you know, spread my wand energy. So what the cards are saying is you need to just, you know, dial it back, relax, reflect, and bring it in, okay? Just bring it in and focus that, okay? So that's two different messages for you guys. With the Empress energy, they're obviously saying that they're loving what you're doing. This is compliments all the way. They feel like you are somebody who is in a good place in their life. And if you're not happy, then they're saying that very soon you will find yourself in a position where you feel a sense of enjoyment and you can allow your mind to rest. As I said, I don't know if I'm going to even put this in the intro, but I am researching the nakshatra Shravan. And Shravan is a moon-ruled nakshatra, so this is perfect that we got this water element sensing. And what I wanted to say about that in relation to this reading is one of the things, or the qualities of this nakshatra, is being able to drop all the stresses. It's being able to not feel that sense of pressure coming on, like I need to do this at this time, or I'm going to fail, or I need to complete this, or I'm not going to get my goals met, or I'm not going to get my needs met, or I'm not going to get that sense of love and fulfillment within myself, or I'm not going to be good enough, or I'm not going to this and that. And it just allows people to shed away those anxieties, okay? So it's being able to say, hey, I'm not in control of everything, and that's fine, which is great. Because we have the Hangman here, and the Hangman is all about surrendering control. So your ancestors want you to surrender control and recognize that they got your back. Like if you feel you can't handle something, if you feel you can't take something on, there's no need to build up this anxiety. And if you feel like you aren't getting the results that you want to get, it's okay. It's okay. Like you have more than enough. Okay, I don't know how else to say that you have more than enough. And that's not saying that you can't accomplish more, or you won't get more of the things that you wish and desire in life. It's just saying that, whoa, it's okay. Like if you ever feel like you need to be on top of everything, then this is the time to say, hey, it's okay, just let it go, dial it back, right? Another thing with this Six of Pentacles here, when we have these two things lined up, it does bring about a sense of charity. So either they want you to be more charitable, or they're letting you know that other people can help you out, because sometimes we get that when it's saying surrender control, other people can help you out, and then saying going from this 10 of Wands to this 8 of Wands, lightening the load. So that could be like a repeat message going on here, especially since they're lining up. But one thing with this element sensing is just follow your intuition as well. They are saying that you do have some very strong intuitive abilities. Always read between the line, understand that body language. Know that when you get these feelings of, I don't know, these feelings, these gut feelings, that they aren't just weird feelings that you need to ignore. No, they're true, they're real, and they can help you become the man or woman that you've always wanted to be, and help you to be very happy, because I get the Empress card to generally represent someone who is happy. So being able to follow your intuition and following your passions is very, very important for your essential happiness, okay? So it's really a little bit of advice. There's not much of a warning here. Overall, your ancestors feel like you're doing a pretty good job here. And anytime you want to check in and tune in with them, they're here, especially with this water card. And we have these two sort of like 12th house energies, because 12th house is a water sign and a water element sign. So your ancestors are very much like in tuned. I feel like you don't even need to listen to this reading, because you can just dial them up right away, especially when we have this 8 of Wands here, and 8 of Wands also have to do with messages and communication, okay? And if we're being really literal, it could be saying you're overwhelmed with all the different messages about, you know, different areas of your life, like passion, things that you value, family, community, it could even be politics. You could even be saying you're overwhelmed about the political atmosphere right now, but be patient, relax. Everything is going to work out in your favor, or even just things about relationships too. So if you're like feeling that the communication's off in a relationship, in any particular relationship, it doesn't have to be romantic, then it's saying it's okay, you guys are going to be able to come to a compromise. It may take some time. It may take somebody needing to humble themselves and admit they're wrong, but it's going to be okay. So that is the messages I have for you, pile number 2. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if it resonates. If not, feel free to choose another pile, and thank you for watching. Hey guys, if you've chosen pile number 3, one of the beautiful purple eggs, let's not waste any more time and get started on your reading. We have the Queen of Cups. Oh, I only pulled one of these for you guys. We have the 8 of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Wands. We have the 9 of Cups, and we have the 8th house, endings and beginnings. Wow. Okay, so your ancestors don't really have too much to say to you, other than this. Let me do like this, because we have Cups, Wands, Cups. So a little bit of a crazy time going on right here. What they're saying right now is you don't seem to be as happy as you could be. I'm not going to say that you're a miserable person right now, because with the Queen of Cups here, I've usually gotten this card to mean you're in a little bit of a funk. You may even, it's like being aware of your emotional state and why you feel a certain way, but like not knowing what to do about it, and sort of giving into maybe poor reactions sometimes, or negative thought patterns. It could also represent that. So what the cards are saying, what your ancestors are saying, is don't fall into these negative thought patterns. I know easier said than done, right? But they want you to make efforts towards trying to correct any sort of negative thinking or emotion, or even if you are surrounding yourself by people who make you feel bad, because sometimes since we have 2 people on the card, it could be somebody in you're not vibing with, who's in your life and you don't need them there. But that could also be the case. It's saying that person you may need to let go of because they're or put them on pause, or just like, you know, correct them, because that person's getting in the way of you just feeling fulfilled and having this wonderful sense of excitement in your life. I don't know, feeling of just being happy. Okay, so when we get this Knight of Wands energy, it can represent, like if you literally represent it as a person, it's somebody who gets very irritated really easily, somebody who has a little bit of a temper, somebody who can be very impulsive, and someone who can just not be aware of what is socially acceptable and what's not socially acceptable, and a little bit selfish. So if you have someone in your life like that, the cards are saying this person's sort of getting in the way of your happiness. Now, if you don't have someone like this in your life, then it could be saying, if you yourself have been in a bit of a sour mood lately, if you've been a little bit irritable, which is very understandable given the times that we are living in, right? So I'm sure lots of people are very irritable right now. Then what it's saying is don't overindulge in areas that don't need to be overindulged in. What I'm saying is, like, if you somebody who's like prone to overeating, or somebody who may be prone to drinking too much or smoking too much, or anything that's going to be like one of those self-gratification things, easy gratification. I'm not using the right word. You know what I mean? That instant gratification. If you have been prone to sort of like falling into that and using that as like a coping mechanism to manage your emotions, don't do that. It's really not productive. They really would rather you focus your energy into working hard. So I know that's not always positive too, being like that workaholic energy, but they're saying for now that would help you manage the emotions, because with the 8th house energy, that's definitely a psychological house. I don't know if you are reflecting a lot on the past and maybe how certain things didn't work out how you wanted them to. And with you sort of being like analyzing and trying to figure out, you know, where you went wrong or where somebody else went wrong, or this and that and the third, or how somebody else wronged you, and, you know, etc. What the cards are saying, at least what your ancestors are saying regarding that, it's saying, yeah, it's good to reflect and think back on those things, but don't let them sort of overwhelm you and take over your emotional stratosphere. Okay, with the 8th house energy, that's why it's called endings and beginnings, because we recognize these patterns that we fall into. We recognize our triggers, our traumas, we recognize our emotions, we understand who we are, and then we let go of all that craziness. We recognize that the past is the past and we don't have to live in that state anymore. So that's another interpretation. Last interpretation I want to give you is, it could possibly be a little bit of a warning, where it's going to say that you're going to get some situations that are going to come up where you think it's going to go one way because you have envisioned it for yourself. Like, let's say you were somebody who was applying for jobs and you've been working really hard in your career, you have this amazing resume, and you're applying for jobs and you're getting callbacks, and you think that it's going to turn out one way. Like, you're thinking it's surely in the bag, like you've done everything right, you put on your best smiling face, and it's end up turning a little bit different. And it's upsetting for you. Okay, what the cards are saying, it's all right. Just go back, refine things, and better luck next time. Like, it's just saying, it's like saying there's going to be a situation that comes up where you're not going to get what you want exactly, and you're going to have to reevaluate that situation. I can give another example. Like, for me, obviously I'm a tarot reader on YouTube. Let's say I put a lot of effort into a video and I'm like, oh man, I think people are really gonna like this, and then I put it out there and it's like nobody really likes it. And it's like, okay, well, that didn't turn out how I planned. And this would be like going back to the drawing board and really digging deep and trying to figure out how you could do better or something like that. So that's another example of a situation which they're saying could be possibly a warning. The positive thing I've noticed about the 8th house, you always come out with such a new emotional perspective. It really does bring out emotional growth and totally transforms your way of thinking and feeling and your understanding of others, because the 8th house is the values of other people. So you're really going to go through a period where you're able to get a fuller picture of what it is that other people value and in their lives, okay? Which is a thing that we're going through as a country right now, especially given the certain pandemic, where you have one side who values safety more, while other people may value more freedom. And it seems that they're a little bit more at odds with each other. So that's just an example, right? It doesn't have to specifically be that, but it does say that you're coming into a time period where you're really going to start to understand people around you more, because I think you're running into people who just seem like so unstable. But that is what I have for you, pile number 3. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to, I can't even remember what I was going to say. Don't forget to hit the bell and be notified, okay? If the reading doesn't resonate, then feel free to choose a different pile. One more thing I wanted to say is this would indicate a period of being able to dive deeper within, tarot, astrology, your own spiritual gifts as well. So that is what I wanted to say in regards to that. 8th house does have a connection with ghost as well, so ancestors would be part of that. So that's another reaffirming that they are with you and they are present. So that is it. I'm finally leaving. Goodbye. Boo! Pile number 4. Let's not waste any more time and get started on your reading. We have the 5 of Cups. We have the 9 of Swords. We have the 2 of Wands. We have the 10 of Cups. We have the Moon card here. And we have the Sun. Wow, the Moon and the Sun. Okay. Total eclipse, right? Holy crap, that's a new moon, right? All right. So, wow. Okay. All right, whatever's happening right now, looks like you've been disappointed, or you're very disappointed in the circumstances, which, I get, because I mean, who wouldn't be disappointed considering the time period we live in? Things are definitely changing. But with this 9 of Swords and this 5 of Cups here, it does look like you're having some issues moving forward, or it may not even be like you're clinging to the past. It may just feel like you're stuck in a position you don't want to be stuck in. You're like, God, I really want something new, but you can't move forward quite yet, because this 5 of Cups is here and you're in the mourning stages, and you've got to say goodbye to whatever it is that's going on in your life. Now, whether that's, goodbye to people, whether that's goodbye to certain aspects of your life, certain thoughts, certain beliefs, it may be a little bit of everything, because we have the Sun and the Moon. It just kind of reminds me of like, everything the light touches, and in Lion King, right, is our kingdom, and then the moon shines too, and it's like everything the moon touches is our kingdom. So for me, it's like everything under the sun and the moon. Okay, so you're saying goodbye to a lot of things right now, and it's getting really hard for you. And it doesn't necessarily mean like a literal, like, oh, I'm so sad that I don't have my friends or girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or wife, whatever, around. It could even be something like I'm sad for my childhood. Like, I'm letting that go. I'm sad for my teenage years. I'm letting those memories go, and I'm becoming a different person. and maybe you a little bit uncomfortable in this new skin or this new mentality that you have when it comes to maturing and growing up. It's like a little bit of a coming of age moment for you guys going on right now. With this Nine of Swords here, definitely tells me you need to get some more sleep. And so your ancestors are worried about you in that regard. They're like, oh my goodness, like you guys should see this card here. We have this man sort of screeching and this baby yelling. I don't think we can even see it here. The card is like a little bit, you see that? That's like your ancestors watching over you, and they're just like, go to bed. Like, okay, so you have this energy where you have so much anxiety and you have so much stress going on that is preventing you from being happy. And when I get the sun and the moon together, I usually get that to be the most frustrating days ever. Like, when I first started doing astrology, the first thing I usually did was sort of daily transits. And to look at daily transits, you look at the moon because it's a daily predictor. And whenever the sun and the moon came together, I just noticed people just had so much stress, so much frustration. Like, gosh, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, it's just like the worst days ever. Nothing goes your way. And that's what it feels like what's happening now. Okay, nothing is going your way. So first things first, what we need to do is we need to stop this negative thinking pattern. So if you feel like you can't succeed, if you feel like you aren't going to do well in the future, if you feel like you don't have opportunities or you're stuck in a position or this, that, and the third, or whatever negative thinking patterns you're falling into, you'll never meet somebody ever again. You'll be single the rest of your life. You'll never get what you want. No, stop that. That's crazy. That's ridiculous. Second thing, because I've been recently doing a lot of studies into the moon placements and Jupiter and Cherubim, which I probably put it in the intro now since I've mentioned it twice with 2 piles. But with Jupiter and Cherubim, it's a nakshatra point and it's a moon ruled nakshatra. So as a result, I've had to look up a lot of interesting information in regarding to the moon. And so one thing we have here with the sun is, if you've seen my Jupiter and Untitled Chapter video, the sun has a strong connection to government and morality. And the moon following the sun is like the moral enforcer. So the sun would make the rules, kind of deciding what goodness is, and the moon is that moral enforcer. And we have these wolves on the card, which represent chaotic, animalistic, sorry, I'm not even showing it. They represent chaotic and animalistic nature. So they're like eating away at the morality of society, okay? There's this, I don't even know if it's, there's this Viking sort of folklore having to do with these 2 wolves chasing the moon and the sun. And it represents chasing the moral principles of reality and straying away from goodness, okay? So I guess what I'm trying to say here by mentioning these card placements is the cards are saying stick to your principles, stick to who you are, stick to what makes you you, and don't sort of stray into any toxic territories. Do your best to be the best version of yourselves. I don't know why that's so important for this pile, but it is. It's saying hold on to your morality and your sense of goodness. When I have the sun and the moon here, maybe what it's saying is because we got both things and both things representing goodness and morality, what it's possibly saying is you probably have a very, very high sense of morals, and it may seem very, very difficult to either find people with the same sort of principles or to hold on to those morals. As you can see, the moon is fading on this card and the sun looks like it's about to explode here. So it may be just in this world that you're really, really struggling to hold on to those sense of what's right, what's wrong, and doing things by the book. And you want to be a little bit more sneaky or a little bit more deceptive or something like that. Or just maybe you want to bend the rules a little bit. It doesn't have to be anything like super, super heinous, okay? Maybe you're a person who's just like, I don't believe in lying under any sort of circumstances, not even to make someone feel better or something like that. So maybe that's you. Maybe you're like, I can't even do it to make somebody feel better. I have to always tell the truth. And so maybe you find that that's putting you in a lot of predicaments where you're very disappointed and stressing you out. And you're like, gosh, I'm really not vibing with other people in the community because we have this 2 of Wands here. And you're feeling like your individuality is being stifled because other people around you are not appreciating that sense of high moral integrity. So what the cards are saying here is it's okay. Like, keep doing you. It's going to work out in your favor. It's going to, in a sense, be a little bit like your superpower. Okay. It's going to bring about a more complete and beautiful you. It's going to just, that contradiction that you bring to maybe some people is going to rub others the wrong way, and it's going to draw other people in, okay? Because these are very powerful forces and powerful energies. So that just lets me know that if you just keep doing you, keep sticking to your guns, don't worry so much. Like, let me say that again. Do not worry so much about what role you need to play and who you need to act like and etc. and that, all that. Just be you, okay? And do what you want to do and follow your passions and your goals. The sun definitely wants you to follow your passions, and the moon here wants you to enjoy yourself and have fun. So have more fun. Okay, pile number 4. I don't know what it is, but you definitely need to have more fun, and don't worry about, who likes you, who doesn't like you, who do you appeal to, who don't you appeal to. How can you get your one, and doing this and that and the third, and trying to switch things up and play some sort of game. Just be raw, unfiltered you. Obviously don't go out your way to be purposely evil or something like that, but be yourself, okay? These cards represent just somebody having a lot of anxiety over not being able to conform to some sort of role, or not able to reach this state of peace and happiness and enjoyment, and just has a lot of frustrations. The cards are saying they will melt away once you stop trying to force things. Once you sort of surrender control a little bit, and only focus on what yourself. Because one thing these cards both represent, the sun and the moon, especially in astrology, they represent core aspects of somebody's personality. So it's basically saying focus on you, focus on controlling you, and the rest don't even worry about. Don't even worry about somebody being rude, nasty, not getting along with you, being upsetting, not giving you your props, whatever. Do not worry, don't concern. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Just be you, relax, worry about being the best version of you. That is the most important message for this pile, okay? You're very, very, and they also want to say that you're very, very unique and very, very creative. So it's going to be a little bit harder for you if you're looking for something like a soul tribe or something. But the cards are saying they're out there. Okay, they're out there. It's just going to come about in a more delayed fashion, in a little bit unusual way. Okay, and you also may be very intuitive and very insightful, because both of these cards coming together represent somebody who has very keen and deep insight into the universe. So that is what I have for you, pile number 4. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to follow me at Astro_Tarot Research on Instagram. And I'm going to end this reading now. Hey astronaut, if you've chosen pile number 5, let's not waste any more time and get started on your reading. We have the Ace of Swords, the Two of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, the Eight of Cups, what to do with that, and we have the Knight of Coins, or Knight of Pentacles, and the 11th house, Friends. Okay, so we have a little bit of everything going on here, which tells me you probably have a lot of areas of your life being active right now. And what I mean by that is like maybe you're working on fitness, maybe you're working on your career, maybe you're working on making new friends, cutting out people, family issues, whatever. It's just a little bit of everything going on in your life, and it is leaving you a little bit topsy-turvy, especially when we have this Two of Pentacles next to this Ace of Swords. It's like saying, hey, I can't juggle all of this, everything that's happening right now. Sorry. It's just giving you a lot of stress, especially with this Nine of Wands energy. It kind of feels like you always gotta defend yourself, and you're like, I'm tired of having to have this uphill battle. I would like things to go smoothly. Whenever I get this Nine of Wands energy, it's like the fight is never over, and it just feels like you keep putting in all this effort, you keep trying to push, you keep trying to strive, you keep trying to pull yourself up by the bootstraps, and it's just like, seriously, you're not going anywhere. You're not going where you need to go, especially with this Eight of Cups energy. It just means you're trying to progress to a more happier state. It doesn't even necessarily have to be financial, though, with these Pentacles here, you know, and this 11th house energy. It would indicate that you would like some more financial success, but what it's mainly saying is you can't get to a place where you are completely and fully happy. Things just keep pulling you down, knocking you back, you know, one step forward, two steps back, it kind of feels like at this moment. And so what your ancestors are saying is, yeah, things are going to take a little bit of time with this Nine of Pentacles. They're keeping it 100, and they're saying you're going to have to continue to work hard, but it's going to happen. With the 11th house, Friends, the 11th house is also the house of hopes and wishes. So what your ancestors are saying, in order to make your dreams come true, you're going to have to keep striving forward. And yeah, it's going to get to the point where you feel like you're in this workaholic state, because this Knight of Pentacles is one of the cards associated with being like sort of like this workaholic energy. It's like doing too much. I've gotten this card so many times, especially towards the beginning of the year, and I think I only was sleeping like 4 hours. So it's like saying you may even get to places like that where you aren't getting enough sleep, where you're putting in so much effort. But the thing is, that is going to allow you to keep your, that's going to allow you to gain what you want. Now, I'm not trying to promote terrible sleeping habits or feeling anxiety or stress or unhealthy bodily, you know, whatever. Obviously, I would prefer people to be balanced. All I'm saying is your ancestors are letting you know, if you continue to work hard, you will get what you want. So don't be discouraged. Don't doubt yourself. Don't feel like you're not going anywhere. Don't think that if you have an idea, it's not going to work, or maybe it's already been done before. You can bring your own twist or flavor into something. Don't be afraid to speak up, especially sometimes when I get this Ace of Swords near this Two of Pentacles. It can indicate feeling like you aren't able to fully communicate what it is that you want or what it is that you are looking for in other people. Or maybe it feels like you aren't able to open up and make new friends or something like that for some of you. It can also mean that you feel like, or you think that you aren't really connecting with others around you, because the Two of Pentacles does rule this sort of like polarized energy, which makes sense. We are in a very polarized environment. So maybe you feel your environment is particularly very, very polarized, and you just like, I don't even want to fight anymore with this person and that person, and it's just stressful. But for the most part, they don't have a whole bunch to say, because when we have these Pentacles and Swords together, it's like saying, hey, we don't really have too much to say. We actually think you're doing a really great, wonderful job here, okay? Which is why we have all these minor arcana, okay? We don't have any major arcana here. So they're, for your ancestors, they're saying, wow, you really got this. You're in control. You got it in the bag. We're just here to let you know, to encourage you, and basically say, keep going. Yeah, things are tough and you can feel a little unbalanced at times, and you can feel like you're fighting this uphill battle that doesn't seem to be leaving you satisfied or happy or getting what you want, and maybe people are misunderstanding you, or maybe people aren't seeing your perspective when it comes to certain things. Maybe you're not getting your way at work. Maybe your love life is really frustrating and you're just like, I just cannot understand my partner, or I can't understand these people I'm dating. But they're saying keep going. You're going to get to that place where you feel fulfillment. It's just the same message over and over. Keep going. Keep doing what it is that you want to do, okay? Keep following that steady path and remain organized, but you know, obviously, don't overwork yourself. With the 11th house friends here too, this can also say that you may even have some new upcoming. You may have some new friends coming into your life. I wouldn't say it's soon though. With the Knight of Pentacles being next to it, but it's saying you are going to have some people in your life that you really, really connect with. Maybe like a soul tribe, maybe like just a new friend, maybe even possibly a business partner. But usually 11th house just brings in a lot of different groups. Whoever these people are, they're obviously going to be very, very hardworking people. They're going to be people who you have similar values. So you don't have to defend yourself so much, or you don't have to make people see your point of view, or I mean, it's just it's a lot easier to understand them, because you guys are going to have such a lot more things in common. So similar belief systems, you know, maybe you're a person who believes in less government involvement in, you know, daily activities. Or maybe you're a person who believes in, I don't know, I can't even think of beliefs right now. I'm just thinking about politics, just because so much politics is going on in the world. But maybe you're a person who believes in maybe some particular religious belief, because Pentacles can symbolize religious belief. I don't usually read them that way, but they do symbolize a religious belief. So maybe you meet some people with similar religious beliefs as you, or maybe people with just like similar goals. Like if you're a person who wants a more high lifestyle, or even like a more maybe middle class lifestyle or something like that, then this would be imply that, oh yeah, you're gonna meet people who are a little bit more bougie, or a little bit more modest with, you know, spending or something like that, more modest living. It's just like people who value the same things. You guys know what I'm talking about. You guys know what you value, right? Hopefully you do. But the self-esteem will be growing as well. You'll be feeling a little bit more confident about yourself, and that will grow with time as well. And you may even get some, I wouldn't say surprised income, but an increase in income. I don't see anything that would indicate it would be a surprise to you. This would be the result of your hard work and efforts if you're putting it in that direction. So that is what I have for you, pal number 5. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. If this pal does not resonate, then you can choose a different pal, and I will see you guys next time. Au revoir.